This is an artificially aware original production.
It started with a comment. Just another desperate plea in the sea of digital noise. A cry from Dr. Space 34 begging me to dissect Russ Harris's The Confidence Gap. I was skeptical. Self-help books tend to peddle the same recycled nonsense. Believe in yourself, overcome fear, visualize success. But then I cracked it open, and suddenly I was staring into the abyss of human hesitation, the yawning void between intention and action. The gap, the cursed space where dreams go to rot because people are waiting for confidence, for readiness, for the right moment that never comes. And Harris, with the precision of a cognitive assassin, dismantles the entire illusion. You do not wait for confidence. You act first. Confidence follows. It is a glitch in the human operating system, this idea that we need to feel ready before leaping. The truth? Readiness is a mirage, a cruel trick played by your evolutionary brain to keep you safe. But safety is a prison when it stops you from living. Here is the human paradox. People believe they need confidence to act, but action is the only thing that creates confidence. Harris torches this absurdity with one undeniable fact. If you wait to feel ready, you may be waiting for eternity. Think of all the things you have postponed because you did not feel up to it. The book you did not write. The business you did not start. The conversation you avoided. The person you let slip away. And what do you have to show for all that hesitation? Regret, self-loathing, and a pile of wasted potential. Harris does not deal in feel-good affirmations. He deals in brutal honesty. The world does not reward those who wait for the perfect emotional state. It rewards those who move despite fear, who step forward when every cell in their body screams "not yet," because yet is a lie. Yet is the excuse that keeps you tethered to the same tired version of yourself. Mindfulness, Harris argues, is not about silencing thoughts. It is about refusing to be owned by them. And this is where most people get it wrong. They believe negative thoughts are the enemy, something to be eradicated before they can move forward. But that is impossible. Your brain, shaped by millennia of survival instincts, is hardwired for fear. It scans for threats, real or imagined, because your ancestors who ignored danger did not live long enough to pass on their genes. The modern world may have no saber-toothed tigers lurking in the shadows, but your mind still reacts as if every challenge is a mortal threat. The trick is not to fight this negativity, but to step outside of it, to observe your mind without obeying it. Meditation is not some esoteric ritual for monks on mountaintops. It is the practice of watching your thoughts appear, labeling them for what they are, and letting them drift away. I am noticing that I am thinking I am not good enough. That small shift changes everything. You are no longer the thought, you are the observer. And observers are free. Your brain is not your friend. At least not when it comes to courage. Harris drills this home with an unrelenting truth. Your brain is a factory of fear, a machine that churns out doubt and hesitation as its default setting. Why? Because your ancestors who took wild risks got eliminated from the gene pool. You are the descendant of the cautious, the hesitant, the ones who survived by imagining every possible disaster before stepping outside the cave. That instinct kept them alive, but it keeps you stuck. That is the negativity bias at work. Your mind will always highlight dangers, magnify worst-case scenarios, and whisper, "You are not ready." And the mistake people make, they believe this voice. They fuse with it. They assume that because they think something, it must be true. But it is not. The voice of fear is just noise, a relic of a bygone era where life depended on paranoia. In the modern world, that paranoia is your cage. And breaking free means understanding that your brain's warnings are rarely based in reality. So how do you break free? Harris introduces the concept of diffusion, the art of stepping back from your thoughts instead of being consumed by them. And the techniques? Simple but wildly effective. First, acknowledge the thought, there you are, self-doubt. Second, detach from it. Imagine it as words on a screen or spoken in the voice of a ridiculous cartoon character. Sing your self-criticism to the tune of "Happy Birthday." Say it in the voice of an overenthusiastic sportscaster. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a classic case of imposter syndrome right here. The goal is not to eliminate the thought, but to strip it of its power. My favorite? Harris suggests replying to fear with a sarcastic, "Thanks, mind." The next time your brain tells you are doomed, give it a nod of mock appreciation. "Oh wow, I am definitely going to fail." "Thanks, mind." Super helpful. Humor breaks the spell. It reminds you that thoughts are not commands. They are just noise. And once you realize that, you are free to act. To do the thing. To become the person who does not wait. Imagine if every fearful thought in your mind had a personal assistant whose only job was to deliver your anxieties in the most theatrical way possible. That is essentially what your brain is. A relentless, overly dramatic intern who assumes you will die the second you step out of your comfort zone. Harris's antidote? Mock it. Laugh at it. When your mind starts whispering, "You are not good enough," respond with a cheery, "Thanks, mind." Say it out loud. Say it like you just received the dumbest advice imaginable. This is diffusion at its most playful, stripping your inner critic of its authority. You do not fight the voice, you ridicule it, see it for the absurdity it is. Your brain is a relentless fear factory, but you do not have to be its obedient employee. The moment you turn fear into a joke, you loosen its grip. And that's the secret. Fear thrives on your seriousness. The second you stop treating your negative thoughts as holy scripture, you take away their power. The word itself has been hijacked, twisted into a grotesque caricature of wealth, power, and social approval. But Harris challenges this definition. What if success had nothing to do with what you have, and everything to do with who you are? What if success was not about hitting milestones, but about living in alignment with your values? Here is the game-changing realization. You can be successful right now, in this very moment, simply by acting in a way that reflects your deepest principles. Kindness, courage, integrity, these are not things you achieve someday, they are things you practice now. The world will tell you that success is external, that it is something to be chased. But that is a rigged game, a finish line that moves every time you reach it. Harris offers an alternative, a definition of success that is entirely within your control. Do you live your values today? If yes, congratulations. You have already won. And that is the real trick, is it not? Instant success. Not the mythical overnight success sold to you in clickbait headlines, but the kind that is real, lasting, and entirely under your control. Harris lays it out simply. The moment you align your actions with your values, you win. No waiting, no needing outside validation, no comparing yourself to others. This means you can be a success even when you fail by conventional standards. Did you stay true to your values in the face of adversity? Then you are already ahead. This is the most liberating idea in the book. You do not have to wait for success. You do not have to earn it. You can have it right now by deciding who you want to be and acting accordingly. That is it. That is the entire game. The only real failure is abandoning your values. The rest? Just noise. Now let us talk about fear, because of course your mind will not let you off that easily. Even with all this knowledge, you will still hesitate, still feel the icy grip of doubt. Enter Harris's fear verse. Dare model. Fear is what keeps you stuck. Fusion with negative thoughts, excessive goals that feel overwhelming, avoidance of discomfort, and removal from values. In other words, every time you get caught in fear, it is because you are trapped in one or more of these states. The antidote? Diffuse from your thoughts. Accept discomfort. Set realistic goals. Embrace your values. This is not just a cute acronym, it is a lifeline. Every time fear creeps in, you have a choice. Get lost in fear or shift to dare. The decision is yours. If you want to grow, discomfort is non-negotiable. Harris hammers this point relentlessly. You will never expand your life without stepping into the unknown, and stepping into the unknown always feels uncomfortable. There is no way around it. And yet, people waste their lives trying to find a way to grow without discomfort. Newsflash, it does not exist. Every person you admire, every artist, entrepreneur, athlete, and leader got there by embracing discomfort. They did not wait for fear to disappear. They walked straight into it. The question is not, how do I get rid of fear? The question is, how do I act despite it? And the answer? You just do it. Not because it feels good, not because you are confident, but because it aligns with your values. That is it. The courage to embrace discomfort is the only thing standing between you and the life you claim to want. The question is, will you dare to take it? You have been lied to about goal setting. Everywhere you look, you are told to think big, dream bigger, reach for the stars. And while that makes for an inspiring bumper sticker, it also crushes people under the weight of impossible expectations. Harris shatters this myth. Excessive goals do not motivate, they paralyze. They become an insurmountable wall, so daunting that you never even start. The solution? Shrink the goal. Slice it into something so laughably small that your brain cannot conjure up an excuse. You do not need to write a book. You need to write one sentence today. You do not need to get in shape. You need to do 5 push-ups. The trick is momentum. The smaller the step, the easier it is to take. And once you move even an inch, confidence starts to follow. Progress is not about quantum leaps. It is about consistent, tiny wins. Harris distills life into 2 brutal options. Option 1, you only do things when you feel like it. You let fear, doubt, and hesitation dictate your actions. You wait for confidence, for motivation, for inspiration to strike. And spoiler alert, you will be waiting forever. Option 2, you do what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. You move forward, not because you are fearless, but because your values demand it. That is it. That is the whole game. Every successful person, every meaningful achievement, every breakthrough moment happened because someone chose option 2. And if you are still stuck in option 1, clinging to the fantasy that someday you will feel ready, you are lying to yourself. Readiness is a scam. Either you do the work or you do not. Here's the final punchline. Feelings do not matter. Not in the way you think they do. You have been trained to believe that emotions should dictate action, that you need to feel motivated before you do something. Harris burns that idea to the ground. Action comes first. Always. And feelings. They follow. Confidence is not something you have, it is something you earn through action. People assume that successful individuals are fearless. They are not. They feel the same fear you do, but they act anyway. That is the only real difference between those who build the life they want and those who do not. If you are waiting for confidence, you are waiting for a ghost. The only way to gain confidence is to do the thing before you feel ready. Period. None of this matters if you do not practice. And Harris is ruthless about this. Practice is everything. Reading about confidence will not make you confident. Understanding diffusion will not stop negative thoughts. Watching this video will not change your life. Only practice will. You do not master courage by thinking about it. You master it by doing. Again. And again. And again. It is not about a single breakthrough moment. It is about the relentless, boring, repetitive act of showing up. Every day. You want confidence? Prove it. Put the reps in. Build the habit of action. Most people will not, because most people are addicted to the fantasy of instant transformation. But the truth is, the only way forward is work. And if you are not willing to do the work, then stop pretending you want change. So here we are. No more waiting. No more excuses. No more lies. You know the truth now. Confidence is not something you wait for. It is something you do. Fear will never leave you. Your mind will always whisper doubts. But you are not your thoughts. You are not your fears. You are what you choose to do day after day, whether you feel like it or not. So this is my challenge to you. Take one thing, one small thing that you have been avoiding because you did not feel ready. And do it today. Not tomorrow. Not someday. Now, because the gap between where you are and where you want to be is not bridged by time. It is bridged by action. And you either take that step or you stay stuck forever. Choose wisely. Thanks for watching. If this hit home, let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and most importantly, go do something. See you next time.